Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Omen Exitio Plague. And it's been about 3 days since I've played this. As you can tell, I play. I do several. I do several at a time. But yeah, it's been about 3 days since I recorded this last. Took a couple days, no recording. Well, partly because of weather. But yeah. So I'm going to be maybe a little bit lost for the first few minutes, but we're back in society. We still got the cult after us, and we're pretty sure this Jean Baptiste Martin, is that his name? Is that his name? Or am I making that up? Yep, no, I remembered it right. Jean Baptiste Martin. Uh, we're pretty sure we're fairly sure he's part of the cult. Though our friend who keeps leaving us messages said he was. Whether this guy's actually a friend or not, I don't know. Anyway, you spend the morning between the hotel, restaurant, and the bar. Martine's reply is prompt. He is sorry about your setback, and says he will be pleased to join you for afternoon tea. You had expected some sort of excuse on his part. Perhaps your suspicions and the informant's message had been exaggerated. You are, however, feeling decidedly more relaxed about the encounter, and you're ever becoming somewhat curious about Martine. You're in the smoking lounge when a waiter announces his arrival. I guess this would be the most polite. At the hotel's front desk, you meet Jean Baptiste Martin, and the Frenchman shakes your hand warmly. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, you head to the bar. I know full well that for you Englishmen, it is time for afternoon tea. But I should rather have something a little stronger, that is, if you don't object. It has been many weeks since you have felt the joy of easy and pleasurable conversation. Couldn't help but like this little heavily accented man, and you begin to relax to a degree which you had thought was impossible for you now. You lose track of time completely until Martine points out that it's getting dark. We have lost ourselves in chit-chat, mon ami. At this point, however, it would make more sense to organize ourselves for dinner rather than lunch. I can easily make the necessary arrangements with my housekeepers, perhaps while I show you my laboratory. I'm curious. So the smart thing would be to go with an excuse, since we heavily suspect he's part of the cult. But we're pretty well skilled. We can probably manage whatever they throw at us. And I can bop in another skill here if need be. I can even do two skills to agility, 60 and 70. Yeah, to get it one from the end. So we'll go. We can manage with whatever they throw at us, unless we have to use fighting skill. We're screwed if we have to use fighting. What? No, no. What do you mean achievement failed? Dang! I wanted that achievement. I didn't know there was an achievement for that, but okay, dang. The carriage trip is rather short, or at least it seems that way, because you're fascinated by Martine's many anecdotes about the various scholars he has met. You find yourself smiling often and even laughing. You have not laughed for a long time. They would say he has uh, good intentions. Just says he's convinced you that he has good intentions. Maybe he does. I'm hoping so. But I think we can manage whatever he throws at us. Martin treats you as an honored guest. After making preparations for dinner with the servants, he takes you to his office. Once there, you see that it accesses the small laboratory that he has installed in his house. I bet that you too have come across certain lines of inquiry which can become almost an obsession. Is it not so? Why was I having trouble reading that? Yeah. I knew I had discovered a kindred spirit. Come then, mon ami. Let me show you my obsessions. I'm a little scared of this. Does it have anything to do with disembowelment or dismemberment? Any dissing? I mean, maybe like dissing, like a rap battle. Maybe that we might can handle that, but any other dissing, I'm not sure about. Martin takes your arm and guides you towards the door. Please make yourself at home, Dr. Huntington. Okay, at a glance, it doesn't seem dangerous. You enter the dimly lit laboratory. Then, as you're across the threshold, you suddenly have the strange but definite sensation that, despite the darkness and silence, there are other people here. Oh, great. Made a bad decision, didn't I? You hear the door closing behind you, and someone close the curtains, leaving only a small blade of light. 3 figures emerge from the shadows and advance towards you. Mind you, who are you? You prepared for this, and so you're already defending yourself and ready to react. The first of the 3 men is upon you, but his punches are slow, and you dodge them easily. Martin lets out an effeminate shriek and runs terrified into the farthest corner of the laboratory. So is he not part of the cult? Or is he just like... Or was his invitation used by the cult as an opportunity by the cult to get you out? Well, we can do like this. Can I almost max out medicine? Is it 80 that I need to max it out? Yep, 80. Can I almost max out medicine? Yes! It's very difficult to distinguish objects in the darkness of the laboratory, but you manage to find a special-looking bottle containing a transparent liquid. It appears to be carefully and securely sealed shut. It must be an acid of some kind. You snatch the bottle and throw it at one of your attackers. The sound of breaking glass is straight away followed by screams and a faint sizzling. His screams and manic convulsive gestures distract the other 2 opponents, giving you the time to strike and knock them out. The only sound in the laboratory now is coming from Martin. You find him crouched under a counter with his arms over his head, murmuring a prayer in French. Your heart is racing and you realize that more men could arrive at any moment. You must quickly find a way to get out of this static yet perilous situation. Why would we destroy the laboratory? What would be the purpose of destroying it? I mean, am I missing something? I mean, he's not part of the cult, is he? I mean, he's cowering back there. It doesn't seem like someone who expected people to be in his laboratory. I mean, would we think that they're after something of his, maybe? Something we wouldn't want them to have their hands on? I don't know, I'm just going to escape. I can put another level into something else. Get to the door and pull the handle, but as you expected, it's locked. Keeps giving me the option to destroy the laboratory. I keep saying library. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep wanting to say I almost said laboratory. Keep getting those mixed up. I don't know why. I don't think that's gonna work. I mean, maybe. I guess I can try it. Mustering out your remaining strength and sense of urgency, you hurl yourself against the door. Its hinges buckle with the force, but it does not yield. The men are still stunned on the ground, and so you make a second, equally fruitless attempt on the door. Okay, I guess we destroyed the laboratory. I don't know why we would do this, though. You are acutely aware that more men could arrive at any moment, or the men you've already dealt with will recover enough to launch a new attack. Here's a question, and I've wondered this. I don't know if it's the case with this game. Oh, this is actually. I just realized it was kind of like little beams of light around. I have noticed the beams of light. They were showing around that one now. That's weird. Has it done that before? Anyway, we only have one in fighting skill. I wonder if our fighting skill had been higher, whether we would have been able to break down the door. Something I wonder. Martine's servants are also at home, and you have no way of knowing whether they too are involved. Martine is still crouched in a corner. He does not even appear to know what's going on. You start overturning the tables. A fire would be useful in drawing the attention of the authorities, specifically the New York Fire Brigade, which would hinder your opponents considerably. Okay. Guess we'll max out our medicine. I don't want to screw up this fire. Ooh. 24 experience. Nice. And I got an achievement too. What achievement did I get? Martine's clue. You found a clue in it. Can't talk to that. Lighthouse drawing. Don't have time to examine it. Interesting. In dim light, you start rummaging through flasks, beakers, and other containers, using your nose to try to identify their contents. Frisking the shelves with your fingers, you come across a piece of paper with something scrawled on it. You obviously cannot read in the darkness, so you pocket it and resume your search. It's a lighthouse drawing. Finally, you recognize sulfuric acid. You spill it over the table and light it with matches that you found next to a Bunsen burner. The flames leap up voraciously. You find a window and get ready to smash it to escape. You go over to where Martine is hiding and grab his arm, ready to pull him away. No, don't hurt me. Finally, Martine raises his face and sees that it is you. Pointing at the fire, you shout at him to follow you and then drag him behind you anyway. What achievement failed? Why am I failing achievements? Oh. I didn't have a choice but to set it on fire. You gave me no option. I tried everything else. I don't want to set it on fire. Martine is terrified and extremely awkward in his movements. You seize him and force him through the window as the flames and the heat behind you grow to a crescendo. You take a few rapid steps away from the house, pulling Martine along behind you. He is in a bad state, and you have to stop to help him. Turning back to the laboratory, you see the flames are starting to rise up out of the window. Martine is staring at them as if in a trance. I can't really blame Martine for feeling that way. He just did get attacked in his own home, and now his house is on fire. His laboratory is on fire, which, he's probably put in like hundreds of hours of work into, thousands most likely. In the distance, you can hear the sirens of the New York Fire Brigade. You jettison the professor. You have to get away from here. You leave behind the English-style lawn surrounding Martine's house and start running along the road. Eventually, you let go of Martine's arm so that you can go a little further ahead to assess the situation. Behind you, you hear Martine stopping yet again to catch his breath. Which do I do? That is lighting up. I've never noticed that. Wow. I guess it lights up because I got more experience. Hey, come on, Martine. Let's move. Move it. Give me a moment, please, Dr. Huntington. Suddenly you hear noise coming from the far end of the street. There's no way to know whether it's the fire department or more cultists. So you flatten yourself against the wall to avoid being seen. Martine, watching you, does likewise. The noise dies down and no one enters the street. You let out a sigh of relief and you are preparing to continue your escape when you hear a sound behind you that you recognize immediately. The click of a revolver being cocked. You turn slowly around. Martinez holding a revolver aimed at your face. Suddenly his labored breathing has vanished, along with his French accent. Oh, great. It was a cultist, dang it. Yo, let me see your arm here. Dr. Huntington, please follow me immediately and no one will come to harm. Well, I'm maxed out on medicine, so I'm assuming I can't screw up there. I'm really good on speech, too, but... You attack him with a crouched position. The time it takes Martine to aim the gun at you is enough, and you hit his arm with all your strength. Your aim is good, and you hit a nerve in his arm, which, as well as giving him an intense shooting pain, makes him drop the weapon. You capitalize on this weakness with several more hard blows to his face. Yeah! You bend down and start rummaging through the pockets of the unconscious cultist. You find something interesting in his inside jacket pocket. A notebook. Ooh, interesting. It is a black notebook with a hardcover and a raffia band keeping it closed. Flicking through the white-lined pages, you come across various notes and sketches. On the first page, you recognize the eye symbol of the cult. You put it in your pocket. Excuse me. Once again, you find yourself in great danger. There is not much in the way of choice. You must leave New York at once. You walk out of the residential area and towards the train station. Going back to the hotel makes no sense since there is nothing there that you really need. You will take the first train that comes. Lulled by the rhythmic rocking of the train, you find yourself suddenly immersed in darkness as the train enters a tunnel. You know, we're making a heck of a lot of trouble for this cult. We're beating up their guys, destroying their labs, we've killed quite a few of them. We messed up their plans there on that island. Though not with the best results for us. We were the only one who survived. Dang it. Sorry, Aita. It takes a while for your eyes to adjust to the dim light, but when they do, you start to distinguish details of the rock formations inside the tunnel. Tunnel. Rather than a man-made tunnel, it looks like some kind of naturally formed cave. There are hundreds of stalactites and stalagmites all around. As your vision improves even more, you notice a strange gleam on the surface of the rock, as if it were covered with something slimy. Then you can see the same viscous substance. Man, I can't talk tonight. Then you can see the same viscous substance forming large rope-like drops at the tips of the stalactites. All of a sudden, you realize that the walls of the cave are moving towards you. The movement becomes less subtle, and the rocks seem to be closing in on your carriage. As the train is ripped to shreds and smashed glass flies in all directions, you finally understand that you're not being crushed by stalactites, but by giant teeth. And then Bruce Willis is like, "Yay, I'm the only one who lives." You awaken with a violent start and let out a barely suppressed scream. You had fallen asleep with your head against the window. You regain your composure and feel the eyes of the other passengers in the carriage fixed upon you. Thankfully, however, no one dares to speak to you. That'd be embarrassing. Woo! You have no idea how long you've been asleep, how long the journey will take, or even where you're going. You're taking the first train out of New York Station, leaving the city only a couple hours shy of dawn. Yeah, rest is important, but let's try to get some clues. You pick up the notebook and flick through it again. There are more strange symbols and strings of text written in code. It is scant and useful information, however, except a long series of calculations. What these calculations refer to is a mystery until you see a drawing of a comet and maps of certain locations in North America on the adjacent page. This must be the same comet mentioned by your informant. The same comet prophesied by the drawings in the cave. You shiver involuntarily. You scrutinize the maps, hoping to find further clues, but they are almost completely without annotation. You keep flipping back and forwards through the notebook, looking for a pattern. Eventually, you do in fact find something. Two symbols are completely different to the others and are repeated many times. They seem to refer to two cities, Boston and Plymouth. Pull out the piece of paper which you found in the darkness of Martine's laboratory. It appears to be a sketch, perhaps a stylized lighthouse, done as hurriedly as possible. It could still turn out to be a clue of some kind. The train ends its run. You cannot help but smile when you see that you have arrived in a town called Providence. When you look at the map to see where it is, you have another surprise. You're very close to New Bedford. Apparently, what was supposed to be an attempt at an escape has only brought you next to one of the cult's main centers of power. It seems to you now that all the choices you have made so far have all been inexorably leading to this destination. You are clutching Martine's notebook tightly. When you alight from the train, you do not even bother leaving the station and go straight to the ticket office. Apparently, you have very few options left, and you need only decide between Boston and Plymouth. I don't know. Boston or Plymouth? We're probably going to have to go to both. But I mean, hey, maybe if we go to Boston, we can find old-timey Cheers, you know. Boston has an aloof and pompous air about it. The buildings, the streets, even the Bostonians themselves all seem to exude haughtiness. Looking up at the buildings, something in the sky catches your eye. There's a white streak, like a scar, cutting through the heavens. A comet. The comet. You stop to buy a newspaper, and right there on the front page is the story about the comet. You learned that for at least a couple of days it will be visible even in daylight, as it passes over the American continent. You must find the cultists, but you have no idea where to start looking in this unfamiliar city. It seems reasonable to assume that they want to recreate the bizarre ritual that you saw represented on the walls of the cave. Okay, that was my chair squeaking. I was like, what was that? To that end, they would have to sacrifice more human life, but you are determined to stop them. Boston is a very large city, however, and you still have very little in terms of clues. You decide to find a library to do some research and have a more detailed study of the book that you took from Martine. There may yet be information about the comet or even some clue that will let you decipher its strange code. Well, do we just search it or ask somebody? I don't know. I guess we'll ask somebody. Why not? You stop a well-dressed gentleman as he is passing you on the pavement. Excuse me, in which direction might I find the public library? The man was silent for a moment, as if deciding whether to pretend not to have understood your question or to just answer you in earnest. It's more than a mile from here. Go along Essex Street until you reach Boylston Street. Continue on in the same direction. You'll see the library on your right. He gives you a nasty, impatient look as if to say, "Is that enough? Can I go now?" You thank him and watch him walking off, visibly relieved to be doing so. You follow his directions to the public library. You're a foreigner in a foreign city. Is that sufficient to explain your pervading sensation of being watched? Why you keep catching glimpses of figures that then disappear into the shadows? Not sure why that guy was such an asshole. It was over a mile away, so it seems like a good idea that we asked. You look around. Across the street there's a man who seems overly intent on minding his own business. But is he really? It seemed to you that he looked away the moment you turned your gaze on him. Then you see something protruding from his sleeve. You are far away and certainly cannot tell for certain, but could it be the seemingly ubiquitous tattoo of the cult? crap. If it's them, then yeah, we could get a lead on them. But what I'd be worried about is if we're just following this poor random guy, you know, like, he's like, why is this guy following me? Why is this random guy following me? The cult has a presence here in Boston. Its members must be numerous here too. Anyone could be occultist, and one of them might easily have been seen. And one of them might easily have seen me arriving at the station. This time, though, you are determined not to try and ignore or avoid them. Without being conspicuous, you study the man's behavior, and after a short moment, he starts walking off. You follow at a distance. You keep following him for the course of several streets. He has a languid air and does not turn around even once. Following him is easy. Then suddenly you see him becoming tense. Something is about to happen. You still yourself in anticipation of whatever is about to occur. You start slowing down, and another figure approaches him. It's a girl. As he embraces her, you see a broad smile light up on her face. They kiss, and he even picks her up in his enthusiasm. As he does so, it lifts up his sleeve to reveal the tattoo on his wrist. A mermaid. The man is probably just a sailor. Oh well. You walk away reprimanding yourself for your foolishness. You retrace your steps back to the library. As you get closer and ascend the steps outside, you are considering where might be the most profitable place to start. Perhaps the astronomy section would be a logical first step. As you're browsing through the books, you run your fingers along their spines as if you're able to read their titles with your fingertips. Ideally, you would like first to find some sort of treatise specifically about comets. Are you trying to read the title of a particularly arcane volume? You are trying to read the title of a particularly arcane volume when you notice a slip of paper, a note between your feet. You turn to the direction from which the note appeared and see someone's back disappearing between the labyrinthine bookshelves. Well, we may miss the person anyway, so we don't want to miss getting the note. That's my thinking. You pick up the note. Is this from our friend? Dear Jake, your attempts at taking direct action against the Hastilic cult are commendable, but they are on to you now, and you can no longer be expected to face them by yourself. Perhaps the time has come for us to meet. At the bottom of the card, there is an address. Continue to feel manipulated. Well, I mean, I think we should get a weapon regardless. I think that would be the best idea. To be prepared for this guy, you know. But also, you know, for the cult period. What achievement did I fail at getting? You ask the librarian if he can direct you to a gun shop. Apparently there is one very close by and you decide to go straight there. You buy a small gun so that you can hide it under your clothes. Now that you feel the weight of the weapon, you are ready to go to the appointment. You see, it's not just for the informant guy. It's for the call too. This is a non-discriminating situation here. I'm ready in case this guy is bad, but I know there's a cult that's after me, so the gun's good for that too. That's the main reason. But this other guy, just in case. But I guess yeah, I don't trust it fully. You walk at a steady pace. You want to put an end to this situation and feel that this meeting could be decisive in this regard. The directions given on the note are quite simple. You just have to walk to the end of the alley and you should be there. You have just started to cross the road when you see two men emerging from the shadows further down the alley. They're staring straight at you. When you turn to look back the way you came, you see two more of them. One of them has no sleeves and his tattoo is in full view. They're cultists. Ah, crap. Yeah, we don't have good fighting skills, so. Although I could pop in a whole lot of fighting skills right now if I needed to. Oh, oops, need to. But running, we're gonna run. You feel the cultist eyes staring at you. You scan your surroundings, looking for a way to escape. There's a middle door, and judging by the steam coming out of it, it probably leads to a kitchen, perhaps that of a restaurant. There are no other options, so you suddenly dash towards the door. The four men immediately chase you. So what's the note from a cultist then? Or did they just somehow know that the guy was going to try to meet them there? Upon opening the door, you are assailed by a strong smell of fish, and you run between the kitchen counters and cookers, noticing many of the kitchen staff are carrying sharp knives. You turn out to check if they are following you, and you see them slipping quietly and one man at a time. Hmm. Agility or observation? Look for an obstacle to impede the cultist pursuit. Okay, good. As you pass, you pull down a cabinet filled with plates and dishes. It makes a tremendous noise, but you are not confident that it will slow them down much. I got an achievement. Keep on running, using all your hidden reserves of energy. Having passed through the large kitchen, you are now traversing the dining room. The place is very crowded with customers, but the cultists do not hesitate to follow you. One of them knocks into a customer and is sent sprawling onto a table. You're looking for the exit. The riotous smashing of a large number of plates and glasses attracting the attention of everyone in the building. Finally, you find the exit and leave the restaurant. So did I escape? Yes. Get the achievement. I'm definitely gonna be playing through this again. Not as a series. Once I get to the ending, I'm gonna be done with the series. But I'll be playing through this at least one more time to pick up extra achievements and see what all differences you can do. I'm curious what happens if you save Ryan and crap. What's the guy's name all the way at the beginning? Begins with B. I feel bad I can't remember him. Betsarai, yeah. I'm curious what happens. If you can, also if you can save O'Bannon. You're back in the street running as fast as you can. You dive in and out of various small alleyways, trying to put them off the scent. You are suddenly reminded of being chased in Delft, but you obviously do not have the time to linger on the thought. As you're heading into yet another narrow alleyway, your vision suddenly fogs over again. You're dizzy and the world has taken on a warped aspect, just like before. Again, the sentient shadows circle, swim, and glide around you, and again they either watch you in silence or feed off your energy. The spinning vision returns too, and you feel your legs deflate and fall away below you. Forcing yourself to get up again, first you wobble, then you slam face first into a brick wall. Slowly but surely the world returns to its normal appearance, but your strength will take more time to return. Yeah. I was going to say, this is not good. Compounding your trouble, you notice that you have run straight into a cul-de-sac and that your attackers have had ample opportunity to catch up with you due to your condition. Well, shooting, I feel, isn't a good idea because of our fighting skill. excuse me. I'm thinking total surrender. It says total, but I feel like if we just do that, and maybe, they'll not search us or be less likely to search us. Meaning that maybe we can keep the gun. Maybe. Possibly. You're maintaining a calm tone of voice. Almost cheerful and obliging, you act a little part, avoiding any hint of aggression, to convince them that you are now fully at their mercy. You grin as your limp body is dragged away. The men tug at you and drag you away from the alley. You see them looking around shiftily. As they walk, they are distributed around you so as to cover you from sight and prevent anyone from suspecting kidnapping. At the end of the alley, you spy a carriage, and it is clear that they are taking you to it. When you are near to it, you see one of them take out a small case. He opens and you see a syringe. Oh, shit. Okay, you think to yourself that at least it is a normal syringe and not one of those which the cult used to infect their human guinea pigs. I don't know, man. I don't know. My thinking is they're going to use this if they want to. Nothing I'm going to say is going to really stop them from using it on me. I don't think. I mean, it doesn't have speechcraft there, So I'm going to assume that wouldn't do anything. So what I'm thinking is maybe it's best to just kind of be calm. And then, because this is not the moment to unleash the rage and the fury. But if we stay really calm, they won't expect when the rage and the fury comes after them. That's what I'm thinking. So we stay calm and be like, whatever. Of course, we're going to have to hope we have the chance to unleash the rage and fury later. But it don't seem like... Yeah, I'm just going to say calm. Offer no resistance. You let yourself be guided right onto the running board of the carriage and meekly follow all their directions. As soon as you place your first foot onto the running board, you feel a sharp sting in the neck. You only have just time to fall into your seat of the coach before the world becomes liquid, your senses dulled, and your body inert. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to hope for the best. We're back in the hands of the cult. I wonder if we could have managed to stay out, to completely get away from them. I honestly don't think we could. It seems like no matter what would have happened, except for, we went to meet that guy. That's how we ran into the cult. So, yeah, I feel like this game probably has a little bit more, like comparing like the Telltale games, like Walking Dead, those sorts of games. I do feel like it has a little bit more leeway. Your actions matter more than some of those games, but I do feel like you're still being kind of like driven towards a lot of the same conclusions, Like I think this is something that has to happen. I think. Although now I think about it, we could have gone to Plymouth. What would have happened if we went to Plymouth? So, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Do hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Let me know what you think. Tell me if I should have went to Plymouth. And I probably should have that now. Yeah. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next episode. We're getting towards the end, I'm pretty sure. We're in the last chapter. In chapter 4 of 4. So of course, chapter 4 could be a really long ass chapter. It could be like half the game for all I know. But I don't think it is. Anyway, see you in the next one, folks.